What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/TalesFromTheLaw. Alright, so this story's called, But Sometimes There Is the Crazy. Again, I'm going to try to be very general here, since if I let anything slip, my employers will have no doubt as to the person writing these posts. My previous posts made note of stupid people trying to pay their court fines with credit cards. It isn't just the stupid people that rolls across my inbox, but sometimes there is the crazy. I have been handling public access to court records for well over a decade at this point, and I am the first point of contact for much of the general public. Despite the very large, "this email address doesn't go to the court" writing on our support page, people will still try everything to re-argue their cases, plead for hearing rescheduling, etc. This tale isn't one of those. Almost 9 years ago to the day, when I was still relatively new to the support side, there landed in my inbox a grand total of 11 emails from the same person, all pretty much on repeat, ranting, "I told you once to stop using my mullet-wearing looks manics for your pleasure. Fix what you've done. Your cops done it like I said to begin with. Get it, court staff name. Did you gain my fax directed by WOW and the NAACP? See you in court. Fax to state's attorney. Where's my faxes, Sue?" These, and the ones that follow, are copied and pasted pretty much verbatim, except where noted. I laughed, printed them off, and put them up with the other rants we receive. I should mention that all of these came in through a web form we have up, and that you have to fill in the contact information, such as email, if you are expecting a response. This individual filled in a yahoo.com email address, sometimes with a www dot at the beginning, sometimes without, and sometimes with a number added. However, there were parts of the email address that remained the same. This is important for later. 9 days or so later, we received one more email. "Where's my hearing of my family's day in court, Rumple and commoners? Make my family take the blame and I file on RICO laws, sir, whether you like it or not, since KP is my real brother. See you in federal court for political bias on Mary and Peggy and Coral and the rest of my real family." Same email pattern as before, but actually in an email address form. I took a few minutes, since this was back in the day when there was a thing as Yahoo profile pages, and tracked this person down. That's when I noticed that this individual had posted up a profile picture of their negative HIV test form, without blocking out the name. I took note of this name, writing it down for future references. This is also when I started copying and pasting the individual emails to a Word document, while chalking this up to a probable case of paranoid schizophrenia with persecution delusions. Months went by without a peep, and then in September of that year, the real crazy rolled in, starting at 10:30 in the morning. Over the course of several hours, I received a total of 13 emails, of which many were just copy-paste, it seems. Fair warning, giant glob of crazy text ahead. "Where's my ID theft cases and my real social security number? I wasn't born in 1966, I was born in 1970 and had blondish hair and blue-green eyes, and all my cases for small claims have been denied by judge, and someone in hospital is using mine and Peggy's odds for free hops, and I see the places I go on the news, so Fred and Janae and Oral and the nurses in BCCC and the people say we can't sue the law are dumbas. And I thought there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 9th Amendments, state otherwise in human right laws and hate crime laws, and since you cover Mark and Jason, Rumple and Julie and Fat Jack and Sherry and the rest like Holly and Pam, we need medical assistants who transferred my thoughts in your dumbass head, flubber. Your Grow Club gave your 1966 ass away, Jerry and Cheryl.
And I have a spike hairdo and blue-green eyes and pregnant belly, and I see Stephanie at Lynch's Heart Again Marcette, and I will sue you and Ron and Larry and the Mankers whether one nut manic likes it or not, and John and Carol and Garbo and Neff and Renee aka Pam. So take your hairy end of a gutback pigs, which means police.
Okay. This was repeated 2 more times. Then the next one came in with the same wording, but appended was,
and the rest of you dump asses, I didn't have a tattoo on that arm. I have anklet ring and a tat where you will never see. Why do you think I was called the original no puss giver by Ron and the rest of the carnage, you mildew smelling freak?
At this point, I am getting pretty sad that this individual seems to be in need of some mental health help, but is clearly not getting any. It was the next email that came in that prompted me to take action and bring it to my bosses. Below is the copied relevant portion.
And while we paying the cobble that Craig owes and the gun is at
names.
names.
While I am discussing this with my boss, in comes the next email. Relevant portions pasted here.
I am at address, since they say I am ruining from the police, and since they want to find me incompetent over your cultus-loving Collins and Connor's ass. Won't give my certified nursing assistant's license 123 back, and they say we got kicked out of
county name.
Instead of Bubby and his trusty friends who believe his every word shows who's nuts.
The mention of a county name, which, by the way, I already had along with this individual's name from the HIV negative form, and address give us a place to start looking. One advantage to having a copy of all the court's information is the ability to search it quickly with an SQL statement, which my boss was the master of. We quickly locate this individual's prior court cases, which were simply 2 traffic tickets. The address matches, the name matches, so my boss decides to give a call to the county in question and the nearby counties as well, just to give them a heads up about the ranting emails we received and the mention of the gun. The court staffer named in the original email was notified, in addition to the staff of the county explicitly mentioned in the emails. The various counties let us know they will keep an eye out, and maybe security was heightened just a bit over the following weeks. Not really sure, but since there was no breaking news reports, pretty sure nothing came of it. The rest of the series of emails came in throughout the remaining course of the day, all pretty much repeating in variations of what was previously sent. Then the communications went silent for a year. Out of the blue the next fall arrives an email from what is now the office's favorite crazy person.
Got ya, it thieves like Garbo and Goldie. I was born in 1970, not 1966, dummy.
Court staffer name.
See you in court, police, on November 27th. Where's my real looks and fetuses and family knocks? Garbo is a rat!
We checked the upcoming hearings, but this person didn't have any upcoming court cases on that date in any of the counties we serviced. However, we made the obligatory calls. Again. Then this person went quiet and has been ever since. My boss still asks me to this day if we have ever received any more emails, and with mixed emotions. I tell him no. I still wonder what happened to this individual, and I hope they got the help they needed. But forever on, I will always remember that
Garbo is a rat!
Freaking Garbo! How many times do we have to teach him a lesson? This story's called The Archive Drama. I'm a civil court clerk in Brazil. Incidentally, user Deprox is my husband and coworker, and I also posted another story in my other account. You can read it here. My job is to take care of lawsuits, resolve the lawyer's doubts, and explain to the general public that their lawsuit isn't the only one in the world, and everything takes time to be solved. I agree that it usually takes too much time, but a very small part of it is in my hands. Ever since 2013, all new lawsuits are 100% digital, and this is such a great relief for everyone. but there's still a lot of older ongoing cases, and people constantly need some very old lawsuit files to retrieve documents. This court started operating in 1976, so you can imagine how many old files we have. The thing is, it's physically impossible to store them all here, so we have a proper facility for the whole state, handled by a third party. Considering how much staff they have on their hands, I'd say they do pretty well. But sometimes they lose files or take months to find them because they're too old to be in the digital registry. If you request an archived lawsuit, it takes 10 to 30 days for it to arrive to us. Unless it's very old, then it takes more. A lot of drama happens here because of that. People and lawyers have asked if they can just drive there to personally ask for the file and get it today. Nope, no way in hell. The procedure for unarchival is very strict to avoid losing stuff during transportation. And the third party has no customer service structure. They can only hand the files for us court clerks through a complicated system I'll spare you guys from. Anyway, a lot of people come here asking for old lawsuits. A lot. If the person has a lawyer, we tell them that the lawyer should be the one to request the unarchival. First, because you're paying him a lot, so let him work for you. Secondly, because lawyers are notified of unarchival through the system, while the regular citizen has to come here again and ask if the file is here yet. If it's not, come again. Repeat until it's here. We have a formulary in case the person currently has no lawyer, but it's a pain in the ass because people don't know how to fill it and we end up doing it for them. Also, a lot of people forget to come back and their lawsuit is archived again. It's midday. An angry-looking gentleman comes to the counter, doesn't say good morning or afternoon, always a sign of moderate insanity. It's my counter shift. He simply extends me a paper.
I need to unarchive this now, and I need a protocol receipt of it and let me talk to the director.
Wow, a lot of info. I calmly input his lawsuit number in the system. It's from 2010. He was sued by the bank for not paying for his car. We can unarchive your lawsuit, but there's no protocol receipt if you do it yourself. Do you have a lawyer?
I have, but she told me to come here myself. She said I only had to talk to the director.
If you have a lawyer, it's better that she does it.
No, I'll do it. I can get a protocol receipt, a certification at least. Talk to the director.
The director is my supervisor, a fatherly, gentle, non-confrontational man in his mid-50s. He's always super busy and hates being disturbed by small crap we clerks can solve. Which happens a lot when it comes to me, because I'm the youngest clerk, look even younger, and people often mistake me for an intern. I go to his desk. There's no protocol receipt to give when the party requests unarchival, right?
Right.
And I can't make a certification of it or something.
Only when the file is here.
Back to the guy by the counter. There's really no protocol receipt or certification to give before the file is here.
So what do I do? My lawyer said I only needed to come here. I need to prove that.
He doesn't know what.
I'm gonna lose my deadline.
Then she was mistaken. But if your lawyer requests it, there's a protocol receipt.
No, I'll do it myself.
Okay, then fill this form. But you'll have to come check if the file is already here.
Why?
Because if the lawyer does it, we notify her via internet. But we have no way of notifying you.
Can I at least have a copy of it?
Sure, I'll do it for you after you file. Him confusedly filling the form.
You know what? I have no time to waste coming here again.
Okay, sir, have a good day. He leaves. For now. Later on, the same day, I was in the back room for a break but could hear him. You guys in another country could hear him. The Guardians of the Galaxy could hear him, not Gamora.
I came here earlier and the girl gave me wrong information. My lawyer said...
The second in command, who is a very confrontational older lady.
No, I heard her. Everything she said was right.
Now I'm gonna lose my deadline for another lawsuit,
a fellow clerk says. Oh, is that it? Your lawyer just needs to request more time while waiting for the unarchival. Sometimes to find the solution, you have to ask the right questions. Also, that guy needs to get a new lawyer because, geez. Alright, this one's called Most Complicated Case. I wrote an Ask Me Anything earlier. I was asked in that Ask Me Anything about the most obscure laws I've referenced, and I'm going to answer this with the most complicated case I've heard. Similar to the medical fields, when we don't know something, we can ask for specialty advice from specialists in the field. I was consulted for family law experience by an immigration judge at one point. Here's the deal. A mixed nationality family came from all over. The mother, Chinese, was pregnant by the Syrian father. Mom was a legal resident awaiting an asylum application. Dad was a failed asylum seeker who only got to apply again and enter because he was married to a legal resident. They were married by another third foreign country. Upon arrival, they annulled their marriage, making Dad's entrance considered fraudulent, and then Mom popped out a baby, possibly making Dad's entry valid. Mom didn't put the dad's name on the birth certificate in an attempt to protect the father against a misunderstanding of the law, which is illegal to not declare the father if known. Further, when questioned about fraud, they both stated that a travel agent told them to do the paperwork that annulled their marriage and they didn't intend to do it. And the travel agent was at the hospital with them and facilitated the mother excluding the dad from the birth certificate. This all also created an issue of whether the baby was a citizen or not. After we did some digging, we did find there was a local person at the hospital who was handling translating, who effectively manipulated everybody into keeping Dad off the certificate. We couldn't confirm that we had them void their marriage, but it didn't seem like a long shot from there. Both parents were kept in the hospital as they were having complications from intestinal parasites, and the baby was having its own issues. After immigration approved Mom's asylum, we recertified the marriage. A new birth certificate was created that recognized both parents appropriately as parents. Dad got approved for asylum. It was determined under the original circumstances that the baby was a citizen of China and Syria. After the review, it was determined he was a local citizen by special administrative circumstance, a Chinese citizen by maternal right of blood, and a Syrian citizen by paternal right of blood. He's recognized by immigration as a triple citizen baby. National police were pursuing the travel agent who was operating under a false name. Happily ever after. Okay, so stuff like this is why law is cool sometimes, because it's like undoing a puzzle with something like this. Not just finding out what happened, but also just unraveling what's legally relevant and all that jazz. Finding out the citizenship of the baby, and just finding where all these laws and rules come into play in these situations. It's pretty cool seeing it all come together. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.